Ever wonder why there are so many Nurse Joys? If you ask them, they'll say they're sisters, cousins, near-identical family members, but how realistic is that really? It's not entirely a lie, not to them, but it's far from the truth. The truth is so unreal, so out of character, nobody would suspect a thing. But I saw, I know, and I can tell you. It starts when you walk into a Pokemon Center, a normal, average trainer, young, just starting out on your journey. You greet her for the first time, know her pretty face and sweet voice. You may chat for a bit before she takes your Pokemon to heal them, and gives them back with a smile, the normal routine. But she knew, from the moment you entered the building, that you'd be perfect. Caring, young, impressionable, alone. So she puts a tracker on your Pokeballs, all 6, just in case one gets traded away, and she sends a message to her sisters, letting them know to look out for you. She lets you go after that, no sense in unnerving a potential candidate before it's time. But if you choose to stay the night, well, that's when the real fun begins. You're given a room in the back of the center. She'll ask to take your Pokemon to another room so they can rest. Say no. It's their way of isolating you. All of your belongings can go in this drawer for safekeeping, she'll say, handing you the key. They don't want you armed, but unsuspecting, you'll listen to these kind nurses and give up your last line of defense. Good night, she'll say with a smile. Enjoy your rest. If you look closer, you may see a glimmer of excitement beneath that kind face. They're programmed to enjoy this. It starts at midnight, when none but the seemingly sweet nurse is up and about. The door to your room opens without a sound, having been oiled just hours before. In rolls a gurney, pushed by Joy herself. Her expression is still sweet, but it doesn't quite look human anymore. Her eyes shine unnaturally in the moonlight. You're still sound asleep, but she doesn't take any chances, bringing out a syringe full of liquid sleep powder. Even a single ounce is enough to keep you out for 2 hours. The needle has 10. You're knocked out, heaved onto the gurney, and pushed down the hall into the nurse's only room, then through another door to a room completely hidden from public view. No living human has ever seen this room, only Joys and their assistants. The walls are lined with jars containing blood and the severed limbs of those who didn't transform properly. There's an entire corner dedicated to testicles, sawed off before the transformation begins. With a cute giggle, Joy takes out a small knife and makes a slow, precise cut from the base of your neck to your groin. Her hair has long since come undone from its neat bow, now frazzled and matted with sweat. She maintains her perfect smile all the while, though it's tinged with a hint of glee. I suppose it's not so surprising she'd be happy. She's about to get a new sister, after all. She takes out a small beaker and starts preparing a special serum, Ditto slime mixed with Joy's DNA, a perfect mixture to facilitate a complete transformation. She sets them to mix and turns back to you, ready for the fun part. Nudging open your flaps of skin, she starts to remove the organs you won't need. Stomach, liver, kidneys, reproductive organs. Only the heart and lungs remain. The process of stitching you back up is careful, but quick. She's had a lot of practice. When the serum is finally ready, she retrieves a saw and starts slicing through your skull. Not a whole lot, just enough for the brain to peek through. With a soft hum, she'll pour the serum directly onto it, listening for the low hiss that means it's made contact. She'll stitch the scalp back together immediately, and by the time she's done, the body will have already started changing. Your limbs will shrink to Joy's proportions, your hair will fall out and be replaced with pink strands, your face will smooth out to her pretty, perfect face. Even the empty cavities where your organs once were will be filled, new Joy organs growing in their place. The whole process takes about 10 hours, ample time to clean up and replace the veneer of perfection. When you finally wake, you'll probably thank your new sister. A human life full of aspirations waiting to be crushed is so dreadful. It's so much better to work at a Pokemon Center and bring joy to humans and Pokemon alike. She doesn't need any further brainwashing. The serum will have done that for you. Why go through the trouble, you ask? Surely there has to be a point to all this. From what I found, the Joys were once an experiment in producing slaves by a long-gone organization. But with their master's death, they found a new purpose in running Pokemon Centers and creating new sisters. For in their twisted and broken minds, this is the only way to bring true happiness. They aren't called Joy for no reason. You may be wondering how I know all this. Who do you think is always right beside them, ready to aid them however necessary? It's like I said, only the Joys and their assistants have ever seen them work. I'm sure you won't listen to me. I'm only a happy little Jancy after all. But please, if you value your life, stay away from Pokemon Centers. Even if you don't stay the night, the risk of one of them seeking you out on their own is too high. Once you've caught their eye, you're never truly safe. One of them just passed by me, humming a cheery tune. I think she's found her next victim.